pitcher, you've got a bullseye on your chest. And just knocking it down isn't going to save your life. The pitch a strike. So you might as well get the glove up and make the play. Especially in high school and even at the collegiate level with the aluminum bat, the ball travels so quickly to the mound, which is only 60 feet, 6 inches away. And a power pitcher like Jeremy Hess, hey, that just helps the speed of the ball come back at you. So it is imperative to be a good fielding pitcher if you want to stay in this game and stay healthy. Swing and a miss. Down goes ball. Second time he's struck out in the ball game.
Well, Jeremy is
That's strikeout number 4.
has gotten stronger as the game has gotten older, and yeah, he had no chance on that one. Jeremy is really throwing the ball hard and accurate.
Pitch a strike. Hansen at the plate. He has struck out and walked. He allowed 3 runs in the first inning, did Jeremy Hess. 2 walks, a sacrifice that he committed an error on, and those 3 players all scored. Since then, just 1 run has crossed the plate for the Griffins, as Hess has settled down and pitched himself quite a ball game. And the Bruin bats have certainly supported their pitcher.
And Ryan Hansen has really not been able to figure out Jeremy Hess.
The pitch misses. Oh, just misses. It fooled Hansen, and I think it might have fooled the home plate umpire, because that pitch looked like it was in a good location. The count even up. Deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. This one lifted towards right field. Should be an easy play. Joey Pace draws a bead and makes the play. Final out of the 5th. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We're now through 5 complete. It's 10-4 Bruins. Southern Section Division I playoffs. This is the 3rd episode following the opening round, which was part 1. The second round victory over Thousand Oaks was part 2. And this part 3 will eventually lead to an all-important semifinal part 4 of our mini-series, and hopefully it has a grand finale in the finals. The Bruins, who last won a CIF title virtually 50 years ago. It was in 1950 that the Bruins last won a title. They're trying to get another title before the end of the millennium. Jeremy Hess at the plate. The pitch, a strike.
That guy. Oh, God.
That pitch misses. This is the 2nd inning of work for David Reyna. Reyna, like that kid in the story of trying to put his finger in the dike, just trying to hold the dam long enough for his team to come back before all the runs come rushing through.
Well, he wasn't very successful last inning.
Popped up, and it'll bounce on 1 hop into the spare tire on top of our van. If we could, producer Ray Sharp, our producer Ray Sharp, can go get that souvenir. It's in the spare tire on top of the van. Of course, Ray would like us to think that he caught the ball like he intended to have the spare tire there. Well, apparently there's no more souvenir up there, as one of the youngsters has grabbed it. The pitch, a strike. Down goes Hess.
Well, Hess was making a move toward first base, and he didn't like that call. Better keep yourself under control. You may not get another break by the home plate umpire for that. He certainly didn't like that one.
But if anyone's got room to beef, it's Jeremy Hess, because he's the one who has had his pitches called balls for being a hair too high, a hair too low. And I'm sure based from his perspective, that one did not merit a strike call. We're in the 6th. Hess may have struck out, but his big job is on the hill. This is Chris Miller. Miller, oh, he's had a good ball game. He's hit a 2-run home run and singled. He scored a run. Everybody in the lineup for the Bruins except for Joey Pace has scored in this ball game. The pitch is so, yes, that's a strike. But it did take some contemplation on the part of the home plate umpire, for whatever reason. 2-1. This one down the line, fair ball. This one may be extra bases. Miller turning the bag, he's got a double. And now Chris Miller is just a triple away from the cycle. He's doubled, he's singled, and he's homered, a triple, and he'll have a cycle.
He's also struck out, so that's truly a cycle of a whole revolution.
I'm sure he didn't want you to bring that up.
Well,
this
he
one
did
down the line,
inning,
fair.
and then he went from rags to riches, hitting the home run the next time he came up.
That'll bring up Kevin Miller. He's homered. In fact, the first Bruin to homer of the 5 that have. The pitch, a curve down low. He's homered, a 2-run jack in the first. Grounded out to the first baseman who tossed to the pitcher covering and walked. Miller has scored a run. Billy Gwynn's had the big ball game. He scored 3 times and is 2 for 3. He was aboard on an error, homered, singled, stole a base, advanced to third on a wild pitch, and scored on a sacrifice fly. 3 runs scored for Gwynn. Wasik scored a run. Warner scored once. Hewitt has scored once. Miller once. Chris Miller once. Jeremy Hess once. Edwin Gutierrez once. The pitch, a strike. So 2-1, the count that brother Chris Miller doubled down the line. Let's see what Kevin Miller can do with a 2-1 offering.
Lost in this fine Wilson team with Papazian and Hess is Kevin Miller, who's 4-0. He's also a fine pitcher.
That one, a one-hopper. Chris Miller had ideas of going, but he who hesitates is lost, and Miller beat feet back to the second base bag.
Kevin has a 2.70 ERA. Pretty good pitcher.
Well, Joey Pace still sneaking up behind Kevin Miller at the plate as that pitch misses down low. So 2 Millers aboard, runners at first and second for the Bruins. And that'll bring up Joey Pace, who unfortunately for him is the only Bruin yet to make something happen at the plate. Pace grounded out to third for the final out of the first inning. He struck out to lead off the third and then struck out to end the fourth. Pace is the only Bruin that has not scored a run in the ball game, and I'm sure he'd like to change that. That pitch, a 50-foot curveball that one hops right past Ryan Hansen all the way to the backstop. So the wild pitch advances the runners. Historically, the bullpen has been used to put out fires, not ignite them. Pitch misses away. On deck, Billy Gwynn, who has just had a monster game. (10-4) Bruins, 1 out here in the 6th. This one drilled. Well, Joey Pace has done it. He's homered. His first hit of the ball game is a 3-run jack. He is the 6th Bruin to homer in the ball game. The first time he scored, he joins the hit parade. The 11th hit of the game, the 6th home run, the first one given up by Reyna. And Joey Pace finally feels like one of the guys.
Yeah. I mean, he got all around on this one. It was no doubt when it left his bat. In fact, the center fielder just looked at it go sailing in 336 feet away or more.
The 6th home run of the game makes it 13-4. And now the Bruins, with a run, would be 10 runs ahead and could ice the game in the 6th. Billy Gwynn at the plate, he's homered already. The pitch, a strike, surprisingly. And these fans, who are probably also Dodger fans, leaving early, trying to beat the traffic home.
Well,
if you ever take a look at the highlight of Kirk Gibson hitting that home run in the 1988 World Series, the first thing you see when the camera cuts to right field is those brake lights in the parking lot, as if they've got time to get back in. This one lifted and deep. Gwynn has his 2nd home run of the game. The first time the Bruins have gone back-to-back. There is a mercy rule, as the question rhetorically asked, but the home team gets to bat. So a 10-run lead for the Bruins. All they've got to do is hold it in the 6th. Huge game for Gwynn. He is 3 for 4, 2 home runs, scored 4 times. He has been incredible. The 7th home run of the game, my goodness.
an awesome display of power by the Bruins. This has just been simply incredible.
Are the lights out in Long Beach? Because all the power seems to be here.
I was going to call Southern California Edison and see if the Bruins had put out the electricity or the power or something
Those
in
bulbs,
this area.
those bulbs dim every time someone goes
I'm
deep.
telling you.
Well, Reyna, who had survived the 5th without giving up a home run, the first frame that the Bruins had not homered in, makes up for it in style by giving up back-to-back jacks to the Bruins. Pace and Gwynn go deep. And this one, a P that the second baseman, Lindholm, is able to stab. And a collective groan, oh, as that line drive is caught. Not everything can be hit safely. Although the fans are starting to think that it can happen. "12 hits in the ball game, 7 of them home runs. There's also a double and 4 singles. Brady Werner, who is 1 for 2, a 3-run home run, a sacrifice fly to score a run, and struck out. So he has 4 RBIs. Huge game. Fouled away.
Come on, focus, focus.
Well, you can see the dejection on the faces of the Griffins out there in the field. They've been out there a long time, and this has been an awesome display of power. They are overwhelmed at this point.
This one lifted right to center field, and Ryan Godfrey hauls it in for the final out. In the inning, 4 runs for the Bruins. They do it on 3 hits, 2 home runs, no errors, nobody left on base. We're now through 5.5. 14-4 Bruins. Sports game of the week. That's not a typo. That's the score. 2 touchdowns for the Bruins as they lead it 14-4 over Los Alamitos. The mercy rule, which is a 10-run differential after both teams have batted. That means that the Griffins will bat in this frame should it still be a 10-run difference at the end of the inning. The mercy rule will apply, but because the Bruins batted in the top of the inning, the Griffins get their opportunity to try and answer. Jeremy Hess, the beneficiary of that 10-run lead, as the Griffins will bring to the plate the bottom of the order, David Smith, Ron Prettyman, and John Hartford. One and one, the pitch. just misses down low.
Prettyman's dad is the athletic director at California State University, Dominguez Hills. So it comes from a sports-oriented family. As he looks at his second strike.
That pitch a strike or no? Unbelievable. I am just, it's incredulous. This ball game, which has been a hit parade, and we'll take a look at the 3-2 pitch first from Jeremy Hess. That pitch misses very low for a ball. Now look at this pitch. The home plate umpire indicated that it was away, but Wasik did a good job of framing it, and I'll give the home plate umpire the benefit of the doubt. It certainly wasn't low.
Well, it was not only incredulous, or whatever you would call it, it was unbelievable also.
I don't believe it. That pitch is strike. This. Bruins up and down the order have been mashing the ball. Gutierrez has 1 run scored. As you take a look at the defensive play by the Bruins, 1 run scored by Gutierrez, 1 run scored by Hess. Chris Miller, 2 runs scored, 2 RBIs. Kevin Miller, 2 runs scored, 2 RBIs. Joey Pace, 1 run scored, 3 RBIs. Billy Gwynn, 4 runs scored, 2 RBI. Brian Hewitt, 1 run scored. Brady Warner, 1 run scored, 4 RBI. Greg Wasik, 1 run scored, 1 RBI.
And now Hess is very, very confident, just putting that ball over the plate and looking for a hard grounder out there.
This has been an incredible offensive display by the Bruins, as this one grounded on a hop. Get the force play at second, the first double play, the ball game's over. The Bruins, big bats, lead Wilson to a 14-4 victory over Los Alamitos. Home was not sweet to Los Alamitos as the Bruins rout the Griffins 14-4. In the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. The score, the final score, a 6th inning shortened game because of the mercy rule. The Bruins, 14 runs, 12 hits, they committed 2 errors. Los Alamitos, 4 runs, 4 hits, they committed 2 errors. With the victory, Los Alamitos' season is over. Wilson advances to the semifinals, where they'll take on the winner of the El Toro Rialto quarterfinal being played at Rialto. What a ball game.
It was a great ball game for the Wilson Bruins. They showed a lot of power, and as usual, great pitching by Jeremy Hess. Even though the Griffins lost the ball game, they had a great season. They turned it around in the middle of the season and caught on to the philosophy of Rob Wygott and his pitching and his coaching staff, and they turned in a fine season, winning the tough Sunset League and advancing to the quarterfinals.
For about 6 minutes, the Bruins appeared to be in trouble for about 6 minutes. That's as long as it took for the Bruins bats in the 2nd inning to rally from a 1-run deficit. They trailed 3-2, and that was it. They scored 5 in that inning, and were never, ever in trouble again as they win it by 10, 14-4, and they'll advance to the semifinals. Well, that does it from here. Once again, the final 14-4, the Bruins advance to the semifinals. They'll take on the winner of El Toro versus Rialto. My name's Willie Padilla. For Errol Parker and the rest of our Ed Dowd Sports team, especially our producer and director, Ray Sharp, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time right here on our Ed Dowd Sports Game of the Week.